Hi everyone, it's Miss Lexi again. Here to go over an example of a way to find how much more money someone would need to buy something with a given amount. So we have this example. It says, how much more money does each child need to buy a yo-yo for $1? So we have Ella, Brad, and Garrett who are each trying to buy a yo-yo that costs $1. And so far what they have is the amounts that are underneath each of their names. So let's start with Ella. So we're going to look at each child, see how much they have, and we're going to count on from that amount to reach $1. And we know that $1 is the same as saying 100 cents. So we're trying to get 100 cents or $1 for each child, adding to the amount that they already have. So for Ella, so far, she has 2 quarters, a dime, 2 nickels. So if we count that, we would have 25, 50, 60, 65, 70. So she has 70 cents so far. So I'm going to write that in. So she has 70 cents, just to remember. So when we're thinking, we're going from 70 to 100, which is $1. How much would we have to add? Well, I know that 70 and 100 are both numbers I say when I count by tens. So if I start at 70 and I count by tens, that means that I'm going to be adding dimes. So if I start at 70 and I add another dime, I'm now at 80. If I add another dime, I'm now at 90. And to get from 90 to 100, I would need one more dime. So to get from the amount Ella has to $1, she would have to add 3 dimes, which is worth 30 cents. There are other ways that she could have gotten her dollar, but that's the way that seemed easiest to me when I first see that 70 and 100 both are multiples or of 10, or numbers that when you count by 10, you say them. So when we count by 10, we say 70 and we say 100. So I knew that I could keep counting by tens to get from 70 to 100. So we added 30 cents. And if we think about that, 70 plus 30 would equal 100, or 100 cents in this case. Now, if we go over to Brad, he has 3 quarters, a dime, a nickel, and a penny. So if we're going to count his money, we're going to start with our quarters, and we would say 25, 50, 75. Now I have to count by 10. So after 75 and I add 10, I get 85. Then I go from 85 and I add my nickel, which is 5 more. I go to 90. And then I have to add my 1 penny, so 91. So Brad has 91 cents. So one way I could think about that is say, okay, let's see, can I add a dime here? If I add a dime, I'm going to go from 91 to 101. And 101 is too big. So I can't use a dime, but maybe I can use a nickel. So if I add a nickel, that's 5 more. And if I start at 91 and I add 5 more, I get 96. Now I want to think about, well, I knew I couldn't add a dime because that was too big. And 2 nickels is the same as 1 dime because 2 nickels is 5 plus 5, which is 10. So we know 2 nickels is too much. So my next choice is just to add pennies. So I'm at 91 to start with, and then I added my 5, I'm at 96. So now I want to add pennies till I can get to 100. So if I go from 96, I add a penny, I get 97. Then I add another, I get 98. Then another is 99. And one more will give us 100. So I added a nickel and 4 pennies for Brad to get to 100 cents. And if I count up how much we added, we had 1 nickel, which is 5, plus 4 pennies, which is 4, and 5 plus 4 is 9 cents. And 91 plus 9 gives us 100 cents, or $1. And now we have Garrett. So if Garrett has 3 quarters and 1 penny, let's see how much he starts with. He has 1 quarter, which is 25, 2 quarters, which is 50 cents, 3/4 gives us 75 cents, and 1 penny more would give us 76 cents. All right. Now, if I'm at 76 cents, that's kind of a weird number. So what I would like to do is get to a 10, a number that's easier to work with, because I don't like to count from 76. It's a little hard. So if I'm starting at 76 and I want to get to my next 10, I would need to get to 80. And if I count on from 76 and I say 77, 78, 79, 80, that's 4 more. And I know the only way I can get 4 is using pennies. So if I start at 76 and I start adding pennies, 77, 78, 79, 80, I am at a number that I can work with more easily. So now I'm at 80 cents. And knowing back to how Ella's was, if I have 80 cents, I can add tens to get to 100. So if I start at 80 and I add a 10, I'm now at 90 cents. And if I add another 10, I'm now at 100 cents. So if Garrett adds 2 dimes and 4 pennies, he will have $1 or 100 cents to afford buying the yo-yo. So he had to add 2 dimes, which is 20 cents, and 4 pennies, which is 4 cents. So he had to add 24 cents more. And that would give him his $1. So when we're trying to count on to reach a certain goal, we want to figure out how much do we start with and what is the easiest way to count on. Sometimes it's adding tens, sometimes it's counting by fives, and sometimes it's counting ones until we get to one of those. That makes it easier to count. So please check out some of my other videos that'll help you counting on, and look out for another video talking about ways that we can make $1. So these are 3 ways we can make $1. But I think that we can maybe come up with a few more, and we'll talk about some basic ones. So look out for those videos and hope this helps.